Welcome to the Teenage Mutant Fight Club podcast. Get ready for a thrilling journey into two wild tales of teen heroes and underdog outcasts from the world of flash fiction. Think blockbuster action films in audio form. You know those stories that pack a whole movie's worth of excitement into just a few pages?
Absolutely. It's fantastic to be back and ready to dive into these compact yet powerful narratives.
Today, we're taking a journey into two very different worlds. But both of them feature teenagers suddenly thrown into extraordinary situations.
Exactly. We've got these two awesome flash fiction stories. They show how young people can face incredible challenges with both, like raw courage and clever thinking.
Our listeners have shared some pretty amazing flash fiction stories with us, and we're going to unpack some of the key insights and those really exciting, heart-stopping moments.
I'm ready. Where are we headed first?
Our first stop takes us to what seems like an ordinary world, kind of like the one we all live in. But then, boom, a legendary past unexpectedly pops up.
Oh, I love that. It's that classic trope of the ordinary becoming extraordinary.
Right. It makes you wonder, what if those dusty corners of our own lives hold something incredible just waiting to be discovered?
It's a tantalizing thought, for sure. That hidden potential just simmering beneath the surface of the everyday.
And in this flash fiction story, that's exactly what happens. We meet Ben, who's stuck with a classic teenage chore attic duty.
We've all been there, sifting through boxes of forgotten stuff, wondering when we can escape back to the land of the living.
Exactly. But this time, it's not all dusty photo albums and old yearbooks. Ben finds what he thinks is a fake sword just lying there.
Okay, so just a random sword in the attic. Already things are getting interesting.
Right. But the thing is, the flash fiction story immediately points out how heavy the sword is and how cold the metal feels against Ben's skin. Not what you'd expect from a cheap prop.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. It's those small details, those sensory cues that often signal that something bigger is going on.
Exactly. It's like the story's whispering to us, hey, pay attention, because things aren't always what they seem. And then we're introduced to Maya. She's got this birthmark tattoo, but it feels more significant somehow.
Ah, yes. The seemingly insignificant detail that turns out to be a key to the whole mystery. Classic storytelling move.
Right. Like, why even mention the tattoo unless it's going to play a role later on? And speaking of things playing a role, suddenly a shimmering vortex of air appears out of nowhere.
Wait, hold on. That escalated quickly.
I know, right? It's totally out of the blue. Ben and Maya are just standing there in the attic and whoosh! They're transported to a stone courtyard.
Talk about a commute. So where did this magical portal take them?
They end up in this crazy training ground, like something out of a medieval movie. There are all these teenagers sparring with what look like energy-infused swords. It's a wild mix of old and new.
I love that juxtaposition. Like knights in shining armor meet Star Wars lightsaber duel.
Exactly. Tunics and jeans all mixed together. And before Ben or Maya can even process what's happening, this fiery-haired girl comes charging at Ben, all ready to attack.
Oh, wow. Talk about a rough welcome.
Right. And she's asking Ben about his aura. And Ben, of course, has no clue what she's talking about.
Makes sense. I mean, he was just doing attic duty a minute ago.
I know, right? But it's interesting how the story introduces this concept of an aura without really explaining it. It's like we're dropped right into the middle of their world, just like Ben and Maya are.
Absolutely. It creates that sense of disorientation and forces us to piece things together along with the characters. We're immediately immersed in their reality where auras are apparently a thing.
And just when it seems like Ben might be toast, an old man appears. Merlin.
Okay, Merlin.
Yeah.
Now things are getting really interesting.
Right. I mean, you can't get much more legendary than Merlin. He's got his robes kind of askew, his staff glowing faintly.
So he's not exactly the picture-perfect wizard we might imagine.
Nope. He looks kind of frazzled, like he's been through a lot. And the story mentions the desperate hope in his eyes. That's when you realize just how high the stakes are.
I get it. It's like even Merlin is relying on these two normal teenagers to somehow save the day.
And get this, it wasn't some ancient prophecy that brought them here. It was the sword itself.
Wow, that's a really cool twist. So it's not destiny pulling the strings. It's something about this sword that called them to this place.
Right. It's like the sword has its own will, its own purpose. And thankfully, Maya recognizes the name Camelot. That familiar bit of legend gives them and us a little bit of a foothold in all this craziness.
It grounds the story in something familiar, even as it's expanding into this whole new world of magic and energy swords.
And Merlin confirms that Camelot is real. It's not just a story. He talks about this hidden academy that King Arthur set up to train protectors.
That's awesome. So they're stepping into a lineage of heroism that goes way back.
But Merlin also says the threats have changed. They're not fighting dragons or evil knights anymore.
I can see where this is going. It's a reflection of how the world has changed, right? Our battles aren't always fought with swords and shields anymore.
Exactly. It's like the story is saying that heroism has to evolve too. It has to adapt to the times.
I like that. It makes the idea of heroism feel more relevant to our own lives.
And as they're processing all of this, the courtyard starts to get really creepy. Swirling shadows appear, and an unnatural chill fills the air.
Uh-oh. Sounds like trouble is brewing.
Big time. And here's the thing. Maya's tattoo starts to tingle.
Whoa, so it's not just a random design. It's connected to this magical world somehow.
Right. It's like an early warning system telling her something bad is coming. Meanwhile, Ben finds himself getting more and more comfortable holding the sword. It's like it was made for him.
So both of them have this instinctive connection to this world, even though they just arrived.
Exactly. It's not that they're like the chosen ones or anything, but they're definitely answering a call to action.
There's a difference, isn't there? A choice being made. Stepping up, even when you're scared.
Absolutely. And Merlin looks at them, and for the first time since they got there, he smiles. He asks, "Will you pick up the sword?" You can almost feel the weight of that question. It's not just about picking up a weapon. It's about accepting a whole legacy.
I can imagine them standing there, taking it all in. The courtyard, the other students, the sense of danger in the air. It's a lot to process.
And Ben, being Ben, thinks about LARPing, how this is way more intense than any game he's ever played.
Ah, that's a great touch. It grounds the story in that familiar teen experience, even as it's soaring into the realm of fantasy.
But Maya, she's ready to go. She says, turns out some legends are just waiting for the right heroes, and that's when it hits you. They might not have asked for this, but they're here now, and they're going to do something about it.
It's that moment of decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Accepting the call to adventure, even if it's terrifying and totally unexpected.
And Merlin wastes no time. He's barking out orders, sending them off the train with the other students, who are all eyeing them with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity.
So they're the new kids on the block, and everyone's wondering if they're up to the challenge.
For sure. And the story ends with this idea that the sword, for Ben, no longer feels like a burden. It feels like a promise of purpose, of something bigger than himself.
What a powerful way to end that part of the journey. It leaves you wanting more, doesn't it?
Totally. But for now, we're going to leave Ben and Maya to their training and jump into a completely different story.
Okay, I'm ready for the next adventure. Where are we headed?
We're diving deep. Literally, we're going underwater to a futuristic city that's under attack by pirates.
Pirates. Underwater. This sounds wild.
It is. The flash fiction story starts with this ominous sonar blip. That's how they know a pirate ship called the Kraken is approaching. And right away, you get this sense of vulnerability.
I can imagine. Being underwater, surrounded by all that vastness, it would make any threat feel even more intense.
Exactly. And the story describes their city as this beautiful place with shimmering domes and bioluminescent kelp gardens. It's breathtaking, but also fragile, you know?
I see what you mean. It makes you root for them even more, knowing what they're fighting to protect.
And the people who live in this city, they're not warriors in the traditional sense. They're more like scientists and engineers.
Interesting. So their strength isn't brute force. It's something else entirely.
Exactly. Their defense system is all about their deep understanding of the ocean and their ability to use salvage technology in really creative ways.
That's so cool. They're basically turning trash into treasure and using it to protect themselves.
Right. And we meet Kai, who has this incredible ability to map ocean currents. And they're using repurposed research drones as their weapons.
It's like they're using their knowledge of science and technology to level the playing field.
And then there's Anya, who's a total tech whiz. She's rewired a VR headset to create this elaborate trap for the pirates.
A VR headset. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How does that even work underwater?
Well, they've obviously waterproofed it, but the genius part is how she's going to use it to trick the pirates. She's created this decoy out of metallic junk.
I'm guessing this isn't just random junk.
Nope. She's rigged it to emit whale calls, which will totally mess with the pirates' sonar.
Oh, that's brilliant. They're using the ocean's own sounds to create confusion.
And Kai, who can map those currents like nobody's business, is going to use the submarine to create all these false signals.
So they're basically creating phantom wrecks, right? making the pirates think there's treasure where there isn't.
Exactly. It's a total mind game. They're playing on the pirates' greed and making them chase after nothing.
So clever. And it avoids any direct confrontation, which is pretty smart when you're up against a heavily armed pirate ship.
And then comes the best part. Anya's ready to deploy her secret weapon.
Ooh, what is it? Some kind of super high-tech sonic weapon.
Even better! She's hacked the drone swarm to release a massive bloom of bioluminescent algae.
Hold on, bioluminescent algae, like the stuff that makes the ocean glow?
Yep. And instead of dropping bombs, the drones are going to shower the pirates with this glowing algae.
So instead of blowing them up, they're turning them into giant glowing targets.
You got it. And the story mentions Anya's triumphant laughter. It's like this release of tension mixed with pure joy at how well their plan is working.
I love that. It's the sound of pure ingenuity and outsmarting the bad guys.
And you know their plan worked because the Kraken captain starts yelling all these frantic orders. He's totally confused and frustrated.
They didn't just defend their city. They used the ocean itself as their weapon. And they did it without resorting to violence.
It's a powerful statement about how knowledge and respect for nature can be more effective than brute force. And then the story shifts to Maya. We see her tracing the scars on her arm.
Oh, I remember those scars. It's like they tell the whole story without saying a word.
Exactly. They hint at some past trauma, something that motivates her to protect her home so fiercely.
It adds a whole new layer to her character. Like, this isn't just about defending a city, it's personal for her.
And her VR headset, which she originally needed because of damaged vocal cords, now symbolizes this deep connection she has with the ocean. It's like it's become an extension of herself.
It's like she's plugged into the very life force of the ocean, you know?
Right. And at the end, Kai suggests that maybe they should start training giant squids to help defend the city.
Giant squids. That's insane. But also kind of awesome.
I know, right? And Anya doesn't even need to speak to agree. The story just mentions the hum of a passing whale. It's like the ocean itself is giving them the thumbs up.
That's such a beautiful image.
Yeah.
It's like they've formed this incredible alliance with the creatures of the deep.
They're not just living in the ocean, they're living with it. They're protecting it, and it's protecting them.
And in a way, they're protecting us, too, by reminding us of the power and the beauty of the natural world.
It's a powerful message. They're not soldiers or superheroes. They're scientists, tinkerers, explorers, and they're proof that sometimes the most powerful weapon is knowledge.
What an amazing journey. From a dusty attic to the depths of the ocean, we've seen how ordinary people can become extraordinary when they're called upon to act.
And both of these flash fiction stories, they really make you think, don't they? What hidden potential might be lurking in our own lives? What swords or oceans are out there waiting for us to discover them?
It's an exciting thought. Maybe we all have a bit of Ben and Maya or Kai and Anya inside of us, just waiting for the right moment to shine.
Thanks for joining us on this Teenage Mutant Fight Club podcast journey. We can't wait to explore more wild tales with you next time. Don't forget to rate and follow the show for more captivating stories.